The U.S. Senate is debating historic preservation law amid the controversial demolition of the White House East Wing. At Capitol Hill, a hearing scheduled for Wednesday before the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee will examine the consultation process under Section 106 of the National Historic Preservation Act. Officially, the agenda deals with the consultation process between federal agencies and preservation bodies when public projects may affect historic properties. The White House, however, has specific legal exceptions, limiting the direct applicability of these rules to the presidential building. Even so, senators indicate that the case of the East Wing, demolition, currently at the center of public debate, may arise in the discussion. Controversy has grown in recent weeks following confirmation that the East Wing was completely demolished. To make way for a new ballroom in the presidential complex, ADCUA, project announced by the White House as funded by private donations and estimated at hundreds of millions of dollars. Reports indicate that the demolition contradicts previous statements by the president, who had said that the construction would not interfere with the existing structure. The issue has provoked reactions from Democratic lawmakers and preservation organizations, concerned about transparency, governance, and historical impact. In the legal field, a Virginia couple filed a lawsuit in federal court in Washington seeking a temporary restraining order to halt the demolition and construction. The petition cites laws such as the National Historic Preservation Act and the National Capital Planning Act, but acknowledges a sensitive point. There are exceptions that traditionally exclude the White House from certain external controls, making the dispute legally uncertain. It is the first known lawsuit attempting to stop the project. In parallel, Democratic representatives on the Natural Resources Committee sent a letter to the White House requesting clarification on the funding, scope, and oversight of the project. The document mentions the construction taking place during the government shutdown and questions whether there was adequate consultation with the agencies responsible for planning and preservation. Heritage. Organizations and observers also highlight the loss of symbolic spaces, such as the Presidential Cinema, originally installed in 1942. Sources connected to the project indicate that the theater will be modernized and reintegrated after the completion of the works, but preservationists argue that the scale and design of the new hall would require greater public scrutiny. Behind the scenes of the regulation, another move drew attention. The White House dismissed all 6 remaining members of the U.S. Commission of Fine Arts, a body that issues opinions on the aesthetics and design of federal projects in Washington. The government says it will appoint new members. Critics fear less independence for the body and future opinions on sensitive projects. Meanwhile, historical voices in preservation in Washington acknowledge that they knew of the possibility of changes, but describe it as shocking to see the East Wing reduced to rubble. The public exchange of accusations intensified as news reports and images of the construction multiplied, and lawmakers began demanding details of funding and governance, including who donated and what benefits were offered in return. In short, the Senate hearing was not specifically convened for the White House renovation, but the topic is likely to permeate it because it exposes gaps and exceptions in the preservation framework when it comes to the presidential residence. In the short term, attention is focused on 3 fronts: the progress of the legal process, legislative pressure for transparency, and the technical debate on how to balance the functional needs of the White House and the protection of historical heritage.